Most boxing styles are built around one thing: power, speed, aggression. The Soviet style is built around something different, something that most fighters never fully develop: precision, discipline, control. Today, we're breaking down how to master the Soviet style of boxing, one of the most technically complete systems ever developed, all backed by the fighters who made this style legendary. Welcome back to the Fight Archive. Soviet-trained boxers are taught from day one that your body must always be in a position where you can attack or defend without any adjustment. No leaning too far forward, no weight too far back. Every movement is controlled, deliberate, and structured around maintaining a stable base. This sounds simple. It is not simple. Most fighters, especially aggressive ones, develop a habit of falling into their punches. They throw a right hand and their weight shifts forward. They throw a hook and their shoulder dips. And in that moment, they are vulnerable. Dmitry Bivol is the modern example of this principle done perfectly. Watch him in any fight, and you'll see a fighter who never seems off balance, even at the end of hard exchanges. His chin stays down, his weight stays centered, and he's always ready for what comes next. Here's how to train it. Throw your combinations and focus on where your weight is when the last punch lands. You should be able to stop mid-combination, plant both feet, and be in a perfect defensive position. If you can't, you're falling into your shots. Keep your chin down, keep your stance stable, hit without committing your balance. In most styles, the jab is a setup tool, something you throw to close distance or start a combination. In the Soviet style, the jab is the entire match. Soviet-trained fighters use the jab for everything: to measure distance, to control the pace, to keep the opponent uncomfortable, to score on the judge's cards, and to set up every single attack they throw.
And he's going to throw that jab a lot. In his last fight, 76% of his punches were jabs.
It is not a filler punch. It is the foundation of every round. Gennady Golovkin, one of the most feared punchers of his generation, built his entire offense off a relentless jab. People focused on his power. What actually made him dangerous was that jab, constantly in his opponent's face.
Golovkin patient but persistent with that jab, and again, and again. How many jabs immediately?
Constantly taking away their rhythm, constantly setting up the shots that landed. The judges love constant activity. The jab is your most efficient way to show output. Control the center of the ring, and rack up scoring while staying relatively safe. Here's how to train it. Commit to jabbing constantly, even when you're not attacking. Use the jab as a rangefinder, as a distraction, as a way to keep your opponent thinking. Work double jabs and triple jabs. Vary the speed, vary the level. Make your jab unpredictable enough that your opponent can't simply time it and slip every time. If you can control the fight with your jab, everything else becomes easier. Soviet style is not a one-punch style. It has never been a one-punch style. The entire offensive system is built around combinations of 3 to 5 punches, where each shot is designed to set up the next one. Not just throwing more punches, thinking in sequences. Every punch has a purpose. The jab opens the guard, the cross shifts the weight, the hook finds the gap. This is what makes Soviet-trained fighters so difficult to defend against over time. They're not looking to land one big shot and hope for a reaction. They're building pressure, punch by punch, until the defense breaks down naturally. The drill is simple, but it requires mental discipline. Stop thinking about individual punches. Start thinking in flows. Jab, cross, hook, step out. That's a flow. Every element connects to the next. Train it until the sequence feels like one movement, not 4 separate actions. Then build from there. Add a body shot. Add a second hook. Create longer sequences and develop the muscle memory to execute them under pressure when you're tired, when your opponent is fighting back. In the Soviet system, combinations are not optional. They are the whole point. If you've ever watched Vasyl Lomachenko and wondered how he seems to appear in impossible positions, landing shots from angles that shouldn't exist, you're watching the footwork system of Soviet boxing at its highest level. Soviet-trained fighters rarely move in straight lines. They move laterally, they circle, they create angles before they attack, and they exit at angles after they attack. The opponent is always adjusting, always turning, always slightly off balance. And that is exactly the point. Small steps, constant movement. Never stand still in front of your opponent for more than a moment. Here's the principle: hit and don't get hit. That sounds obvious, but in Soviet boxing, it's not just a philosophy, it's a mechanical system. Every combination ends with a step. Every attack is followed by a position change. The drill: throw a combination, and as your last punch lands, step to the side. Not backward, to the side. Change the angle. Force your opponent to find you again before they can counter. Do this every single round of sparring, every single round of bag work. Make it automatic. The moment a combination ends, your feet are already moving. This is what makes Soviet boxing so exhausting to fight against. You're never quite sure where they are. Here is where the Soviet style separates itself from almost every other system. Defense is not about blocking. Defense is about not being where the punch lands. Soviet-trained fighters are taught to use slips, rolls, and small positional adjustments to make shots miss, rather than catching everything on their guard and absorbing the impact. The goal is to make the opponent feel like they're punching at air, even when they're landing in the right area. This requires a different mindset. Most fighters, when they feel a punch coming, tighten up and block. That's a natural instinct. The Soviet system trains you to override that instinct and replace it with movement. A step back instead of a block, a slip to the outside instead of a cover-up, a shoulder roll that makes the shot glance instead of land clean. The practical drill: work with a partner on pure slipping. They throw slow, controlled jabs and crosses. Your only job is to move your head and upper body to make them miss, without using your hands to block. It will feel uncomfortable at first. That discomfort is the point. You're rewiring the instinct. Less brawling, more control. Let the shots miss, and then make them pay. Here's what people miss when they study the Soviet boxing system. It's not just a collection of techniques, it's a complete methodology, a way of approaching the sport that is organized, progressive, and scientific. The Soviet system was built on a specific order of development. Technique first, always. Before you throw combinations at full speed, before you spar, before you develop any of the other elements, the technique must be correct. Perfect repetition before intensity. Then sparring, controlled, purposeful, with specific objectives for each session, not just going hard for the sake of it. Working on something specific every single time. Then strategy, analyzing opponents, studying patterns, developing a game plan that applies the technical foundation to a specific challenge. The key word is repetition. Not repetition for its own sake, but deliberate repetition with a specific goal in each session. Technique becomes automatic. Combinations become instinct. Movement becomes a reflex. That is how you master the Soviet style. Not in a week, not in a month, but through a consistent, disciplined process, the same way the system was built. Balance and position, the jab as a weapon, combination thinking, footwork and angles,
it turned out in the fight,
defense through movement, and above all, systematic, disciplined training. The Soviet style of boxing produced some of the most complete fighters the sport has ever seen. Not because they were the biggest or the strongest, but because they were the most technically developed, the most disciplined, and the most consistently prepared. That level is available to anyone willing to do the work the right way. If you think these techniques can improve your boxing, drop a comment below, leave a like, and subscribe. And like always, stay dangerous.